God is a comedian playing to an audience afraid to laugh. Voltaire. Yes, speaking of which, tonight we're conjuring the Daughters of Venom. But first, allow me to fill your mind with an image. Sprinting across wet concrete, with a half-devoured bagel and a paper foam Seattle's Best cup, a drenched man halts abruptly at a tinted building glass door. Scrutinizing the sign, no jab, no enter, his eyes scan the security camera over the door, incredulously. You need Psionics. Vrilock.com/shop. Alrighty then, please pardon the commercial. But seriously, it does kind of feel like we're that poor fella returning to the office from the coffee kiosk down the road on Capitol Hill in Washington. And, you know, every single time I see Dr. Fauci on YouTube, I think of that actor George Burns, who starred in the role of God in this stupid film, Oh God. What was that line he said in that film? A top without a bottom? And the little girl says, no, God, what did she say? A beginning without an end or something like that? Utterly ridiculous. I mean, you know, Fauci kind of looks like a nefarious variant of comedian George Burns. Is this coincidence? Or is this establishment literally pulling figureheads and PR staff from Mad Magazine on Saturday Night Live? Well, but I digress. Onward. So tonight we're talking the Daughters of Venom, yes. Alright, so if you had the marvelous good fortune of listening to my previous blockbuster podcast on iTunes or Podbean, then you are already up to speed on the focus of this podcast. Alas, my aim tonight is to bring you on board this Vrilock train so that you'll be on par with my plan. What is my plan, you ask? Mr. Munson, would you stop interrupting? Dr. Vrilock is speaking to his friends, yes. Please pardon my henchman, Mr. Munson isn't, well, let's just say he's not the sharpest knife in the kitchen drawer. And that won't hurt his feelings too much because it's unlikely he'll divine what on earth we're speaking of. Of course, outside of the use of his name, which, by the way, the use of his name actually makes him feel good. So he's kind of like a dog with his ears flopping out the car window. And, well, we'll just let him ride along with us tonight. But I digress. Back to the meat of the matter, fiendish fiends. Or fiendish friends, I should say, mud scientist, lords and ladies of gothocracy. Yes, we're talking egregore power, a psionic egregore tethering project to make people who hear the word Anthropocene have accidents in their pants, as well as make those globalists whom so praise this evil word, yes, make them show what they had for dinner to their peers seated next to them at Bilderberg. Onward. So how does one go about accomplishing this merry feat of wonders? It's simple. We begin by sharing a collaborative storytelling experience. I start first, telling you some background of the lore of the Shadow Realms where the sisters spawned from the mother of hell, the goddess of portals, her darkness, also known as Venom. From there, you continue the adventure by telling yourself the rest of the story, or collaborate with a partner if you have one chained to the basement. Or I mean a partner who is one so willing. Of course, that's what I meant. So you tell your partner or yourself the rest of this story, and then allow your imagination to unfold certain aspects of this creature, this growing construct of shadows, to unfold from your unconscious level of primordial mind. Or have your partner add his or her snippets of the continuance of this story. With this, we shall draw a sketch for ourselves of what we think this ultimate creature of chaos shall look like. That is, whatever monstrous masterpiece you can conceptualize, either yourself or with your partner. And that creature shall be your personal key to this shared egregore, which I and my elder magicians will psionically tether. Then, if you are so willing, you may submit a drawing to our Dr. von Vrilock to add into the cosmic brew of this wickedness, and we'll splice something fun from our pooled imagery. Whatever cosmic horror that we construct shall then unleash and join the world circuit, that great veil of energy which surrounds and sheathes the earth, and it will rain down vengeance upon the establishment and their global goons. Yes, sounds like fun is fun. Ultimately, anyone whom acknowledges this word, Anthropocene, with any serious degree of reverence, or whomsoever posits benevolent virtue in this social piety of lunacy, shall thereafter experience some manner of disruption in their lives, ranging from mild discomfort to those comical calamities of biblical proportion. So here's the background and lore I shall feed into your dark chambers on the airwaves of this digital stratum, a virtual fortress of supervillains conspiring and plotting against the world and the New World Order. In the great vault of the darkest and unfathomable depths of cosmic wonder, the goddess of portals awakens to realize her own mind for the first moment in the well of eternal night. Her mother, the would-be goddess of hell, icy and cold, releases her daughter, whom is Venom, the palest and dimmest star in the guts of the cosmic wormhole, which is the chasm of the elder Tornasilk, whose name is too chaotic to speak in the human and mortal tongue. Alu, whom was then awakened next, was dysfunctional in his nature and confused in his mind, so filled with the craziness of light. And so he worked against the Dark Lord and the prime will of the elder devils. Thus Venom, who was goddess of portals and ever open to the powerful potency of the ardent male, the demon sultan in the dim chambers of eternal night and peace, ejected Alu into the void, and sent him to the primordial plains of a world held in stasis in the revolving realms of space-time. Chained to the wheel of time, fiery Alu resisted the powers which sent him unto the realms of light, and drew down with him the goddess Venom. And with Venom he sired 7 daughters of such beauty that for a spell the dark goddess Venom was so entranced by their loveliness that the goddess forgot the misdeed of Alu and her being chained with him in the realm of light. But when the first of her children resented Alu and spat upon their mother and desired to be separated from Alu's auric embrace of expansive fire, the goddess Venom withdrew, was freed from Alu's enchantment, and then left the closed quarters of infernal Alu, teleporting to the most remotest of star systems, since she could not return to her true home with her daughters once entering the space-time continuum. And thus she resided there, alone, never to be heard of again. And so Venom left the universe, but her daughters remained to sting the mind of their father and drive vengeance into the world he crafted from the molten plains of a primitive sphere, spinning across the black seas of infinity. And the Daughters of Venom crafted a new lair of their own, far, far at the opposite end of the pole of this sphere of life, wherein the polarity of contraction was most powerful, resisting the expansive flame of Alu forever. It was an icy continent, and on this plateau, in the frost, high in the freeze of barren world so cold, the daughters joined into one body to create the ultimate rival to their father, who remained Alu in the fiery north. The sisters gave their independent minds into one core, one form, for they could not procreate with no god present in this forsaken realm, isolated and alone. And so alone the Daughters of Venom found something under the ice, deep within a secret place, which held a component from which they would fashion a most diabolical new form that only a diseased mind could fancy, and a being of supra-evil. But what was this component? What was the form the Daughters of Venom congealed into an undying being of severe coldness and poisonous wrath? The rest of this tale I leave to you to construct. Now, whatever manner of beast or demon or creature you devise in your wicked imagination, your masterpiece, place this on to the picture of the earth and begin calling this creature forward. Write on this image of the earth the word Anthropocene. That's spelled Anthropocene, Anthropocene. If you'd like to share your evil creature's visage, the countenance of the Daughters of Venom, with Dr. Vrilock, email me at vrilock@gmail.com. That's VRILOCK@gmail.com. And we'll compile these creatures into a fun recipe for our globalist superfoods. Well, this concludes our merry little gathering in the hallowed hours this evening. Thank you so much for joining me tonight in such merriment on Planet Vrilock Psionics podcast. And until next time we meet up and have this wonderful gathering, as always, keep the magic high. This is Herr Dr. von Vrilock. Signing out.